Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're a first time viewer, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much, and please like and comment on this video. This is my recap, my review for Big Brother 18, episode 37. Now, the episode starts off, this is the live eviction episode, but first, we have to get a little bit of the backstory. Natalie is still harping on the fact that, oh, James, if, we just continue to work, if I trust my gut and words with Victor and Paul, then we wouldn't be in this predicament. Yeah, that's true, but you never know how things could have turned out afterwards. Because, come on, let's use common sense. It's 100% possible that the tables could have turned and that, and you still would have been blindsided. But I do understand that Natalie feels the way how she feels. It is getting annoying though, because now it's starting to feel like you didn't have enough of a mind of your own to go and do what needed to be done versus listening to your BB showmans, your boyfriend, and decide to put up someone who you really didn't want to put up. It's like it's your HOH at the end of the day. So do not blame it on anyone else except for yourself. This is your fault. Now, the whole house is starting to get irritated with Natalie. Natalie, as we know, she can have an attitude, she can be bratty, all of the above. And because of that, she rubs people the wrong way in the house. And especially since she's on the block, it's coming out very easily. James is having this standoffish, is being standoffish because he knows how Natalie feels. So his mindset is, right now, I'm just going to go, be nice. However she wants to play is however she wants to play. Victor's feeling bad because he's like, James is a good dude and he doesn't deserve any of this. Natalie and James, like I said, they're going through it. James is trying to do whatever he can to kind of make it up to Natalie, but Natalie is just in her own world. She kind of just wants to be by herself, and it's interesting because in one moment she wants to be kind of by herself. James is just like, wait, so you're really going to treat someone like me? You might as well have been just using me this whole time, because how are you going to go and flip the script all of a sudden after we... Okay, I'm getting a little heated. I'm getting a little too far ahead. Now, Corey is also feeling bad because Corey is like, oh man, James doesn't deserve this. We don't like Natalie. But James, because James wasn't thinking, James needs to vent to someone, and he really accidentally ensured Natalie leaving. Because James let it be known that Natalie is, Natalie wanted to work with Paul and Victor. And so Natalie really wanted Victor out. I mean, really didn't want Victor to go. Which means that she wanted Corey to go. Which means now Corey can go and run back, take that information to Nicole, and say, we can't have Natalie stay in this house. She is a threat to our game. And that's exactly what he does. And then, like I said, Paul is trying to figure out... Paul let it be known that... Oh yeah, again, skipping too far ahead. James and Natalie have this argument because Natalie wants to be by herself. James is like, this is the last night that we potentially both in the same house, and yet you want to go and kind of back off and be like, oh, we can't sleep together, we can't cuddle. Again, he's being a little bit of emotional. He's being understandably so, because again, one of them will be leaving. But what happens next, I was surprised. Now remember, James is pretty monotone. Him and Corey are pretty similar in the fact that they're pretty monotone. And not saying that they are not entertaining or interesting or anything like that, but when they talk, they don't really switch up. They don't go up an octave. Their inflection doesn't change that much. So it's interesting to watch and listen to someone go at someone else with that type of voice and disposition. So James let Natalie have it. James is just like, hold up. You basically want me to go and you were cool with me, you were cool with me, you were cool with me when we were on top, when we were still in with the cool crowd. Now that we're both targets, now that one of us will be going home, now that I can't take you any farther along into this game, now you want to flip the script on me? Now you want to go and say, oh, I can't sleep in the same bed as you. Now it's just like, now I'm annoying? Interesting. This is the same girl who acts like, oh, she's so cute and innocent and sweet, But she flirts with Victor. When Victor decides he doesn't want her, she flirts with Corey. When Corey decides that he curves her, she goes to Paulie. And, excuse me, Lord, why did James say Paulie? Because Natalie wasn't saying anything until James said Paulie. Remember that. Natalie didn't have a response until James said Paulie. That's when Natalie said, ugh, gross, disgusting. And then she was just like, everyone knows that Victor and Corey had a little crush. It's not a big deal. I'm thinking, you're telling this to your BB showmans. You're not, what are you thinking? So James is over. He storms out. He's just like, okay, you're a brat. I basically threw my game away. I'm thinking, James, no you didn't. You've been playing a borderline floater game. You've been throwing stuff left and right. You did not throw stuff just because of Natalie. You did it for yourself. So we're not going to go and play that game. James does go and he talks to the rest of the house. And he lets the rest of the house know that, you know, I'm just done. I'm not fighting her battles anymore. Whether we're friends out of the house or we are or we aren't, I really don't care. Now, we get to Jeff and Jordan. Jeff and Jordan are expecting their first child. It's a girl, and they have this whole story about originally they had, the girl's name was going to be Sailor. Jeff didn't seem like he was too thrilled about that. It was just like, okay, whatever. And, it ended up being, no, what? Did I say the story right? Hold on. No, they're having a boy. Yeah, they're having a, yeah, I was right. Originally they thought it was going to be a girl, and it was going to be, the name was going to be Sailor. Jeff didn't really seem too amped about that. But when they found out it was a boy, now they have no idea what the name is. So shout out to them. Now, aside from that, she's going to give birth in like 6 weeks. Aside from that, we talk about gameplay. About the fact that, how did the house allow all of the couples... See, we should have known from last year that this was the start of the foolery. Of now, people aren't going after people just because they're couples, just because they're attached to each other. You know how stupid that sounds in the Big Brother, where numbers are based off of votes, or based off of the people who are in the house to vote? Eligible to vote. Idiots. There was a pairing, Paul, Victor, pair. Nicole, Corey, showmans. Natalie and James, kind of showmans, or used to be showmans, still showmans. They're so, how did the house, and then of course Big Meech didn't stand a chance. She didn't have anyone to really tie herself to. Now, the thing is, what's her name? Jeff is thinking that Paul's going to win. I feel the same way, unless it has to do with winning certain competitions, then maybe it will be Victor, and that's who Jordan thinks is going to win. So it was nice to see them. It was cute. It was great and all, but we're going to get to the good stuff. We're going to get to the good stuff, and we're going to start the nomination ceremony. And before we officially, actually, I almost skipped over something really important. Now we're going back to the jury house, and in the jury house, we have Paulie. He's officially acclimated. Devon, Bridget, and Zakiya. Now, Zakiya and Paulie, I think it was either in the Big Brother house or in the jury house, they had sex. I know that for a fact. They had sex at some point this season. And so, they're back at it again in the jury house. They are on again in the jury house. Very interesting. It's very interesting that they're on again in the jury house. Devon is irritated. She's just like, you know, it's me and Bridget right now because we lost our girl Zakiya. She went back to Paulie. Wasn't the smartest move. The jury house, of course, they're talking about who they think is going to be coming, who isn't going to be coming. It's interesting because Devon's so sneaky. Devon went and brought up a point of... I think it was, they're like, oh, I hope it's not, I don't think it's going to be Corey or something like that, or Nicole, or one of them was saying, oh, I hope it's Corey or Nicole. And, of course, that's when, it was just like, oh, no, not my boy Corey. That's when Devon says, oh, so was he your closest ally in the house? Yep. Which reconfirmed the fact that, Zakiya, you've been played. Multiple times you've been played. Congratulations. Anyway, Devon's saying, uh-oh, I hope it wasn't Michelle because, you know, there's only couples in the house and then Michelle. So there's no one for her to really play with. And it ends up being her. So, of course, Michelle brings up the first point of the fact that if Paulie just hung on a little bit longer, Victor would have been out of the house. That was the first thing. Next, they see the fact that James makes a deal with Nicole. And they're thinking, what is wrong with this dude? Why would he go and give up his opportunity to be in charge, to be completely safe at this stage of the game, throwing another competition? James wouldn't be able to win even if they wanted to, because they hate players like that do stuff like that, all in the name of thinking they're going to be safe. That's how James has been playing this game. He's thinking he's so safe that they're just going to take him to the final three. Dude, it might work. It might work. Now, of course, we have the fact that even though Michelle and Paulie were put up together on the block, Paul were put on the block. Paul decides with his house guest choice to bring up Corey, which affirms the fact that, they're working together, and then they see, of course, it becomes a tie. Michelle gets booted out, and Michelle hopes that Nicole is next. I'm thinking, no, you don't want that, because I really would like for a girl to make it to the end, even if it is Nicole. I'd rather it be a girl than no girl at all. Now it's time for the nomination ceremonies, and Natalie, she talks about her family and James and how she loves him and respects him. And James says the same thing. He's not going to campaign. Do what's right for you. They go and do a vote, and it's a unanimous vote to kick Natalie out of the house. Natalie gets kicked out of the house, and the next thing we know, Natalie's out there, and Natalie's nice and bubbly. It's like, okay, this is the Natalie remember from week 1. And I know she was excited to leave. She talks about how, and Julie made sure to bring up the point of, people thought you stabbed James in the back. She was like, I don't understand. People thought you stabbed James in the back. Do I need to repeat it again? Because of the fact that when you went up to Paul and Victor, you went and said how, I really shouldn't have listened to James. I really shouldn't have put my faith into James. And Natalie goes and clears it up. She's like, no, I never intentionally threw James under the bus. And honestly, that's why I said in my last video, I was conflicted. I said there was no excuse because you could have cleaned that up. Well, or at least attempted to clean that up when you originally said it. But I'm sure she was still irritated, so that's why it came out that way. She was just saying that, even though it was her choice, she knew that James was working or together with Corey and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking that in itself is still implicating James. Like, what are you doing? Just stop talking. Just stop talking. We get it. You like James. He's cool. You don't know if you'll really pursue a relationship outside the house or not. You're the next jury member. Right now, only Paulie is the only male juror in there. No one's really going too hard on her in their goodbye messages. They can't, because now she's a vote. This is how it works. If you want people to actually pretend to like you, this is the time when you get evicted from the house. Because you're a vote, and the longer you've been in there, the more you know, or the more that the jury thinks you'll know. So they're going to make sure to pump you for information. Of course, James talks about how he really loves and respects her, and this and that. And I'm thinking, that's all well and good. That's cute and all. But the reality of the situation is this. The reality of the situation is this. It's all guys and Nicole. I don't know who won. Actually, I do know. I do know. And I'm not surprised who won it. I'm not surprised who won it. Of course, I'm not going to go and ruin it for you guys, but I'm not surprised who won it. That's what I will say. The HOH competition is the slippery slope competition, where you go and they grease up the ground, and of course you have your lanes, and you have to go back and forth. This time they're using butter, and you have a scooper, and you take some butter and you put it inside of this cylinder. The first person to fill up the cylinder wins. There's a big bucket and there's a smaller bucket. With the big bucket, I forgot what it is. It's HOH and also something else. It's either a money prize or something else. But that's essentially it. Now, remember guys, the format's changing because of football. Now, this upcoming week, aside from Sunday night's episode, we also have Tuesdays now. Tuesday is when you get the live vote in eviction. You get the vote in eviction. Wednesday is when you'll get the live vote in eviction. Lord Jesus. Yes. Yes. It's dwindling. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back Monday.